If you're going to have a fire through the winter, you got to continue to feed that fireplace. Otherwise, your fire's going to go out and you're going to have to start it all over again. See, in our text that we've been reading here in Genesis, we see that God is continuing to add that log on the fire. He's continuing to bring to reminder Abraham and the covenant that he has with him. And so here we find ourselves in Genesis 22. This is the pinnacle of the entire story. This is where Abraham sacrifices his son. And so he takes what is absolutely most precious to him and he yields it up to God. If you're a father and you have a son, you understand this. I have a son. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, son. And so here's God at this juncture now that Abraham has given it all. He reminds him, this is what my covenant meant. Today it seems that words don't mean much for people. It seems that there is a tendency to tell people what they want to hear. There is this fear that if I tell them the truth, or if I tell them what I really feel, that it's going to be problematic. And so we just tell them what they want to hear. Well, we're kicking the can down the road because there's going to be problems later on. The other is FOMO, this fear of missing out. And so you're following one impulse after another. At the time, you don't see that that is really establishing your character and who you are. And people won't believe your word. And so that is somewhat problematic. So here's God that is rehearsing his commitment to Abraham. Are there some commitments that we need to rehearse today? Let's think about this. If we're married, do we need to rehearse some commitments to our spouses? Do we need to reassure those vows on a regular basis? Men, do you realize that your wives love to hear, I love you? They like to see acts of love. Things we ought to think about. What about our commitment to the Lord? Should we rehearse that? Absolutely. What about to his church? Absolutely. We ought to be people of our word. Our word should be our bond. If I'm going to keep that fire going, I'm going to have to get in there and put that wood in there. If we're going to keep the fire going in our lives, we need to rehearse these commitments. Let our words be our bond and follow through. God bless you. Keep looking up.